Imagine waking up in a puddle of goo, gasping for air with gills you didn't know you had, and immediately realizing your entire existence revolves around not being eaten. Welcome to life as a salamander, where your first breath might be your last, and everything bigger than you sees you as an appetizer. Spoiler alert, that's almost everything. You didn't ask to be here, but here you are. Just a gelatinous, squishy embryo floating in some algae-filled puddle surrounded by hundreds of your equally doomed siblings. Mom. Yeah, she laid the eggs and then pieced out, leaving you to marinate in your own filth while hoping the water doesn't dry up before you hatch. Then just when you think things can't get worse, you hatch. And wow, what a downgrade. No protective egg casing, no parental guidance, just you, a set of external gills, and the overwhelming realization that the moment you move, something will try to eat you. Baby steps, straight into danger. As a freshly hatched larva, your first instinct is to not die. Simple, right? Wrong. Before you even get a chance to stretch your tiny, half-formed limbs, the pond turns into an all-you-can-eat buffet for your predators. Dragonfly larvae? They're just waiting to stab you with their face harpoon. Fish? They see you as a slimy, wriggling snack. Even your own siblings might take a bite out of you because, let's be real, it's a salamander eat salamander world out here. So your options are: 1. Stay absolutely still and hope no one notices you. 2. Make a break for it and get picked off instantly. 3. Grow legs as fast as salamanderly possible and haul tail to land. It's not much of a choice, but hey, survival isn't about fairness. If you manage to not get eaten in your larval stage, big if, it's time for the great transformation. You start losing your gills, growing lungs, and suddenly land seems like a viable option. Sounds exciting, right? Well, hold on. Because what no one tells you is that just because you can leave the water doesn't mean life gets easier. First problem? Your skin. Unlike those fancy, well-armored reptiles, you have the waterproof durability of a soggy paper towel. Drying out means dying, so now you have to stick to damp places like your life depends on it. Because it does. Second problem. New predators. You thought things were bad in the water? Wait till you meet the birds, snakes, raccoons, and basically anything else that roams the land and sees a slow-moving, defenseless amphibian as an easy snack. Here's where things get weird. Some salamanders produce toxins that make them unappetizing, or even deadly, to predators. Great defense, right? Sure. Except for the part where you're still soft, slow, and easy to catch. Your only hope is that something tries to eat you and regrets it immediately. But guess what? Not all predators care. Some have evolved to just power through your toxic nonsense. Certain snakes, for example, will eat you anyway, and just take the mild poisoning as a minor inconvenience. Talk about unfair. Let's fast forward to adulthood, assuming you made it this far, which, let's be honest, most of your siblings didn't. Now it's time to pass on your questionable genes and continue the cycle of misery. Mating season for salamanders is awkward. There's no actual, interaction. Males just drop little packets of sperm called spermatophores on the ground and hope a female waddles by and picks one up. Romantic, right? It's basically the amphibian version of dropping your number on a napkin and praying for a text. If the female decides your spermatophore is worthy, she fertilizes her eggs and lays them in a damp, hidden spot, abandoning them just like your mom did to you. And thus, the next generation of unfortunate little salamanders is born into a world that absolutely does not want them to survive. Best case scenario, you get to be an old, soggy lizard. If, by some miracle, you don't get eaten, poisoned, squished, dried out, or frozen to death, congratulations. You get to live a long, uneventful life slinking around under rocks and logs, avoiding sunlight like a tiny goth cryptid. You'll spend your days dodging death, eating bugs, and questioning your entire existence, and if you're really lucky, you might even regenerate a lost limb after some predator inevitably bites you. But let's face it, at some point, something bigger, faster, or just hungrier than you is going to win. So what's the lesson here? Being a salamander is a full-time job, and the benefits? Pretty much non-existent. You hatch alone, grow up dodging death every 5 seconds, and if you're lucky, live long enough to deposit your genetic material and peace out. So the next time you feel like complaining about your life, just remember, at least you're not a salamander.